Hello and welcome to another update video about Bitcoin. Yeah, late on Friday. First of all, I wish you a great start to the weekend. Tomorrow I'm going to send out the newsletter, the MCO weekly newsletter. You can still register for it. You can find a link in the description. It's completely for free and you'll get additional updates about trading mindset, stuff about different asset classes. There's going to be a coin analysis in there, all sorts of stuff. So feel free to check it out. And yeah, what's going on here on the Bitcoin chart? Yeah, overall, Bitcoin is still holding the yellow support region, but the developments throughout the day indicate that we could already be in the C wave to the downside, but we want to talk about basically a short-term bullish and a short-term bearish scenario here on the Bitcoin chart. Overall, still a bullish thesis I have here. I want to share with you the most, let's say, the most directly bullish to the most directly bearish scenarios and the relevant pivots. But I think it's just important to understand that this yellow support zone is where I'm watching for a reversal and the start possibly of a third wave rally. A lot of altcoins are suffering at the moment. They can't seem to find support at the moment. Bitcoin still leading the market clearly. And yes, Bitcoin is selling off as well, but there is still so much space to the 5th of July lows. I mean, we're not even at the price like from a month ago, right? And people already start to panic. Typical for a wave 2 sentiment. Yeah, so wave 2 sentiment is often very bearish when we are heading into this sort of pullback support zone. I did put it as a small text in our WhatsApp channel earlier today, which you can also find a link for in the description. Let me see actually if I find that, because it was a small educational post about not mindset but market sentiment. And it was about, obviously we saw that 5-wave move to the upside, right? From the 5th of July low to the 29th of July high, which from an Elliott Wave point of view indicates that it's an uptrend. I did put in there that after a 5-wave move up, typically based on Elliott Wave, we often get a sharp and rapid price movement that marks the end of the trend. So that was in that text, but I did highlight that obviously, you know, it was, I'm not going to read the whole thing to you, but it was related to obviously Trump's speech at the Bitcoin conference. A lot of people were very bullish. There were claims of 100K on the day, right? Because people expected Trump to make some kind of crazy announcement. While, you know, nothing is impossible in the markets, we saw on the charts a 5-wave move up pretty much complete. And I believe the decline, I can't remember, did the decline already start? Or we had a little push to the upside or something, but it basically, Trump's speech basically marked the top. So I did highlight that the sell the news crowd is now celebrating, not realizing this could just be a washout before a larger third wave rally, assuming support holds. I've noticed podcasters shifting from "we're about to take off" to "it looks like we're back in the summer range." So it's just how quickly sentiment can shift. Yeah. Therefore, it's just important to focus on the charts. We have support levels. Okay, I also have no crystal ball. I have no idea if support will hold. I assume it will hold. Okay, I assume it will hold because we have a 5-wave rally to the upside, but you know, the interpretation can always be wrong or something more bearish is playing out. But that's why we have the risk management levels. It's just important to realize how quickly sentiment can shift, and that people, once we get a bit of a pullback, you know, people quickly go to, oh, the bear is back, without realizing it could simply be a pullback in a larger uptrend that has started, or that is continuing actually, right, in this third wave. Now, granted, the corrective rallies have been shallow. We often see overshooting B waves and all sorts of nasty stuff here, like this one was back in June. These overshooting B waves are really annoying. Now, we didn't have any of them. Therefore, the bounces that we've seen were generally a little bit weaker than I would have liked them to be, but that's okay. You know, the key is that we're holding support, and that's at 56,775. So what we're dealing with is a correction in a wave 2. Now, I promised you we are talking about the most bullish scenario, and then we work our way to the most bearish one. In the most bullish scenario, we could form a low in wave 2 at any time. So if we say that the wave 2 started up here, yeah, and we obviously have seen a correction, then this is now deep enough to be all of wave 2. Okay, whether that's like an A wave, a B wave, and a short C wave, or if it's something like a WXY structure and this is an ABC. This is just academic stuff. I just want you to know that we could form a low at any point. We're now fairly deep in support. Okay, we're not even in the middle, but so we've reached the 50% fib level. I often say that in normal markets, yeah, I want the wave 2 normally to reach the 50% fib level, because I know that pullbacks can be shallow in crypto occasionally. I highlighted that I want at least the wave 2 to get to 63,290. We did get there. Now it's also reached the 50% fib level. For me, that means the wave 2 is definitely deep enough to be a reliable wave 2 if we now start to rally. The low could be in at any point. However, I need a 5-wave move up followed by a 3-wave pullback to confirm that. And ideally a break above resistance, which is at 68,368. But any 5-wave move up followed by a 3-wave pullback and the subsequent breakout would be a good signal. So 5 waves up. Okay, this could just be the yellow C wave. Therefore, we need a higher low in the pullback and the breakout. And then I think this could be the 3rd wave. This is the most bullish scenario where we're already moving up. Now, let's talk about the next sort of slightly more bearish version in which the wave 2 is still unfolding. And if the wave 2 is still unfolding, then it could still take shape as an A, B, C structure that we talked about in the previous video. But the internal structure, so this B wave would have to be some kind of a running flat or expanded flat, but A wave up, overshooting B wave to the downside, which actually is quite bearish, and the C wave move up. It doesn't happen very often, but is not too uncommon in crypto. And then we could move down. So that is slightly more bearish. Just means the wave 2 could still go lower. Okay, it might get a bounce. This is very hard to say. I mean, I would not stress so much about the microstructures. Just want to make sure that it's clear we could, the next rally, if it's not a 5 up, 3 down, it could simply be that B wave extension before we go down further. A key level here also in the yellow box is 59,400 as next support, and then 58,400. And then obviously 56,775. So it just means that, see, the yellow box is really relevant. Of course, we could go down a little lower. We're now in an area where a reversal could happen. There's no sign that we have bottomed here anywhere. And the most bearish scenario is that if the wave 2 fails and we break below the yellow support zone, that the overall 4th wave never bottomed. So that the 5th wave, 5th of July, did not mark a substantial low, as I actually think it did, because it is a pretty fairly clear 5-wave move up. But if it fails, then 50,600 is going to be next support. And there's a pretty good chance that if we continue to drop at some point, the daily RSI is going to be oversold again, as it was down here, which was a good buy signal here and here. Bullish divergence. So it did form here, yeah. And okay, we're now back at 41 on the daily RSI. And getting oversold again while staying above the 5th of July low, that would be bullish. So, but again, we're not oversold yet, and there's no sign a low is in place. But you see how relevant these fib levels are. The market reacted perfectly to that 50% fib level. But there is no impulsive reaction yet. It's too weak, okay? So, yeah, what can I say? I mean, the situation should be clear. Levels haven't changed. Bounces have been shallow. And I'm just watching for the first reaction to the upside that could tell me that either we're breaking out to the upside or this is just at least a larger rally still in this B wave. Yeah. But I'd say, you know, if we break below the intraday low, which was at 61,314, I assume we extend directly down lower, and I'm probably going to take out this larger B wave potential from the chart. But overall, still a bullish market. But yeah, the altcoins doing their own thing. They are suffering again. Again, I can only say it again. You know, altcoins are high risk assets. Most of these are experiments. These charts as well, and I'm already filtering my view for the best ones. the most reliable ones, but even they are not what Bitcoin is from a in terms of how reliable they are. Altcoin charts generally are not very reliable and they are high risk assets, but still we can use the Elliott waves to identify levels for risk management. And Elliott wave has some predictive qualities. They are not as good if the chart history is very limited, which is the case on most altcoin charts. Whereas Bitcoin has proven itself over time. Yeah, that's the update about Bitcoin. Hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Also, make sure that you follow us on Instagram and Twitter for additional content. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.